Yep. That's me with my baby come back. Just trying to make sure you all are there and sticking with me there. I told you I'd try to start with the theme song, something that you could recognize every time. And that is my go to because I love that song. And I don't know why, because it's not like I'm experiencing some type of heartbreak right now, but it's just a song I just think is a great song. It is just a great song. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. Any kind of fool can see I was wrong, and I just can't live without you. That is deep. That's just saying, you know what? I don't know what went wrong. I'm not sure where we messed up or where I messed up. Hey, I don't care. Just put it all on me. Just come back. That's all, baby. Just come back. I love that. Anyway, I'm gonna once again start the time so that I don't overextend my time with you. Once again, I appreciate you taking the time to spend an afternoon lunch break with me. We're going to do 30 minutes where we just try to talk about different things that are happening. If I have an opportunity, I'm going to pull one of my colleagues over and see if they can tell us what we can look forward to as far as weather goes, because all of that is still up in the air as far as warmth and everything. Mike is here right now, so I'm going to steal Mike right now, you guys. Unless, Mike, you are otherwise busy, I'm going to bring you in. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Thomas. Mike Thomas, I love it. This is
how's that for an intro?
Dude, it's fantastic because
don't want to show too much.
This is the deal. I'm doing a YouTube channel where I'm just trying to let people know that we're always on, that they can find our other personalities by either going to our Facebook page, Instagram page, Twitter, we're everywhere. But Mike, I want to steal 5 or 10 minutes with you, as much time as you can spare with me, just to talk to me about what we can expect this week, because we're past the peak bloom portion of the cherry blossom, right?
But I'll tell you what. What kicked butt about those peak blooms is this weekend how gorgeous everything still looked. That's long. I mean, it doesn't typically look like that long.
Okay.
So one of the reasons why is because the day, if everybody remembers, Monday, the day we hit peak bloom, we were cold. Remember that? I mean,
absolutely.
They sent me out on the tidal basin that day on the boat.
On the boat.
It was like,
and everybody was there in jackets.
We were
Yeah, absolutely.
We were freezing. I had my hat on, the winter glove. But that day was actually good because it helped. Think when you go to your florist and you put, where they have the flowers, they got them in the freezer because it's preserving that peak bloom. That's exactly kind of what happened. We had those first couple of days nice and cold. That slowed the process down and just made everything pretty to last all the way through the weekend.
Awesome. I for the first time I went to check it out last weekend. It was packed. Metro I thought was just so well run, but it was flooded with people last weekend. This weekend, it was the same thing.
Yeah. So, I think the word got out that it was going to be beautiful again this weekend. I know my parents were like, hey, we're going to go down and check it out. And they had Pedalpalooza. You can ask for better weather for Pedalpalooza.
Everything, yeah.
It was mid-60s.
And then the auto show started yesterday.
Yes.
Yep. So,
so much going on in DC.
So much going on. My mother actually arrives this Thursday. It'll be her first time to DC.
Oh, okay.
So, Mom, you're going to miss peak bloom, but we'll still be able to see the trees looking great.
There'll be some color.
Yeah, definitely.
No doubt. And there's always ones that bloom a little later than other ones. It's just,
Mike, talk to me about what we can expect the rest of this week, because we are going to see some rain possibly tonight, right?
Yeah. So a little bit. Best chances are going to be down to the south today to tomorrow, kind of to it too. It's not. It's one of these wonderful days where we weather people earn our money by saying, maybe.
Right.
So today and tomorrow are going to be warm. It's already warm. We're 73 degrees outside right now. It's gorgeous.
Like a war T-shirt here, and then we need to look professional on air.
So I'm the guy that rolls in at 2 a.m. and I rolled in shorts and T-shirt.
Yeah.
It was feeling good at those early pre-sunrise hours. So nice and warm, probably not record heat high, but highest temperature so far this year today. We'll go for 80 plus. And then tomorrow just a little cooler, a little bit more clouds. Both today and tomorrow, second half of your day.
Right.
Not so much the morning, but second half of the day. Watch out for just a couple of pop-up showers and thunderstorms. If you're down southern Maryland,
we can deal with that.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Southern Maryland, northern neck down through the eastern parts of Virginia have the best shot at seeing anything. But
too soon for you to tell me about the weekend?
Weekend's looking pretty good, particularly Saturday.
Okay.
Sunday's a mixed bag. We have one of our fancy schmancy weather models is saying Sunday's going to be a good day.
Okay.
And we'll just see more increasing clouds, kind of like we did yesterday.
Right.
Or we have another one that says it's going to rain on Sunday.
Okay.
But both of them say Saturday looks good. So we'll roll with Saturday.
My mother hates high humidity, but I think it's going to be pleasant towards the end of the week.
Today and tomorrow we'll have that humid feel.
You hear that, Mom? Mike is saying it'll be out of here by the time you come. So, absolutely.
Stay away the next 2 days and then come on for the end of the week.
All right.
Wednesday, Thursday, we kind of do a little changing of the guard air mass wise. So it'll feel better And look, my nose is driving me nuts right now. The allergies. I love
Knock
big
wood.
balloons.
I have not had an issue yet here.
Really?
No.
Oh, well,
but I'll tell you what
knock
used to
on
get
wood,
me.
buddy.
What used to get me was Sonoma County. You remember, because you spent time in Northern California,
Right?
And Sonoma County used to kill me. The minute we drove across that bridge, and I was a reporter working in the Bay Area, Mike, the minute we get to Sonoma County, my nose would just stop up.
Now, is it more grass up there? Versus
I think it was more grass than anything else. So I'm like, whoa, what is happening?
The grass pollen's still low. I was just looking at the levels over there right now. Trees are extremely high.
And I think that's what people miss.
They
think that allergies just mean allergies. No, it can be a particular allergen that causes the reaction.
That messes with you in particular.
Absolutely.
Like cats. Cats do it for me. I love cats, but I can't be around them.
Right.
Because they just drive me
They
nuts.
deserve.
Dogs are fine.
But cats, it gets you every time.
Cats gets me every time.
Last question I have for you, and then I will let you go because I know you have other things to do. You've been here since 2:30. 2:30. So we're going to give Mike a break. I asked Tucker this last time, and I try to ask everyone who sits in the hot seat, why meteorology? What got you interested? When did you know?
Oh, so fascinating thing for me. So growing up, I hated weather. Like I was scared of it. Religiously scared of it.
Scared of thunderstorms.
Scared of thunderstorms, hiding under the bed, all that good stuff. Then in, I believe it was September 26, 2001, we had a tornado go through College Park here that took the roof off my elementary school. We weren't there at the time, but the whole, we saw the storm going by, we saw the rotations in the clouds, and it was like caught outside watching the sky turn green and hearing about the big F3 tornado, one of the worst tornadoes ever hit this region, went right by almost my house where I grew up. The wanting to know and understand what went on there kind of drove my passion to go study meteorology.
Love that. Right. Yeah. All right.
So, and then from there, things just kind of snowballed.
I got you.
I've told this story before, but I never wanted to do television.
Really? Okay.
Didn't.
You wanted to work behind the scenes, maybe.
Not even behind. So I was, even out of school, I did research.
Gotcha.
I did weather research. I did 4 years at a company in Bethesda.
So he's a real brain, you guys. So
that's why if you ever check my Twitter and I'm going all nerdy on you, you know why.
If it's too many numbers, blame Mike. Gotcha.
Right. Right. That's it. Always blame me for the sciencey stuff. But that's what I did for 4 years, and then the weekend show started here. And
gotcha.
We needed somebody just to fill in for a couple of weeks.
Just a couple of weeks, and we'll
right, and then we'll get someone else. And then
Mike, I love that. Well, very good. Congratulations. How can we find you on Twitter, Instagram, and your social?
Mike T Fox 5 on Twitter. I'm sorry, and then Mike Thomas Fox 5 on both Instagram.
Mike, thanks so much. I appreciate it,
brother.
I appreciate it.
Enjoy the weather.
Yeah.
It's a good week.
That works. Hey, guys, this is what we're talking about here. We just try to make sure that we keep it interesting. We are real people. We really are.
He's real.
And we try to let you know also that we don't do it alone. Mike will tell you it's a team. It's one of those things where we are constantly working to support each other. We're constantly working to make sure that everyone who hits it on air has everything that they need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mike, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So, you guys, this is where we're going to go ahead and kick on in. I'm glad I got a chance to steal him. This is what happens. If they're floating through the newsroom, it gives me a chance. Shannon's like, don't even look my way. Shannon's going to wave and keep right on going. But Mike, like he says, he does the mornings. And he's part of our Good Day DC team. So you can always find Mike also using the hashtag GoodDayDC or Fox5 Morning. They're just crushing it. He, Tucker, Aaron Cuomo, Holly, Maureen, Allison, Wisdom, Steve. It is a family, a wacky family. It is your wacky family. So join the wacky family Monday through Friday. That's what we're going to tell you to do. So I'm going to pop up my little rundown. We kind of got out of order there, but I know you don't care about that. I know that you really just want to make sure that it's all still going and working well. So I'm going to bring that up just so that you can see what we're talking about today. And then I'm going to pop myself in the corner because I want to be there with you. Bam. Oh, I love it when everything works like it's supposed to. Popped right up in the right corner. I said, watch me jump over half of my Monday or something there. So what's up, week? What's up, week? Remember, I want you to like and subscribe below. And you can always find me on both Instagram, Twitter, at Nick Smith News, or you can email me here at the station at nick.smith@foxtv.com. And that's with any of our personalities' talent here. If you're looking for Allison, if you're looking for Jim Lokay, if you're looking for Bob Barnard, you can always find them on our Fox 5 DC page. You can always contact us there, whatever is easiest for you. The idea is just so that you know we are always on and always trying to bring you the latest and greatest. So, all right, I don't want to keep my thing up too long. We've got 20 minutes here. Just want to try to give you an idea what's going on today. What's up, week? What's popping? Just trying to figure out what's going on. We'll do a little more chatting. If I get a chance to drag someone else over, I'll chat with them for a bit. But that's it. And then later today, on Like It or Not, just give you a little bit of a preview. Two of the topics I know we'll be talking about. We're going to be talking about Cardi B. Is Cardi B a role model? And Instagram. The hottest thing on Instagram right now happening, believe it or not, you ready for this? The hottest thing on Instagram happening right now, and we can go ahead and get rid of this rundown, is crime scene cleanup crews. Yeah, they are just amassing a huge following. So there seems to be an appetite for the kind of the stuff that they do, and I guess then if that is understood, then you may not be surprised to find out that yeah, some of the stuff can be kind of gory, right? So someone who kind of talks about it was a woman I found earlier over the weekend. Laura Spalding is her name, and she's actually fairly interesting. When I say that, as in she tells you, she kind of laid out why this is a big deal right now and why people are really into it. And I think I want to introduce you guys to her just so that you can hear what she has to say, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. But it's yeah, it's interesting to say the least that this is indeed a thing. You guys, I want to introduce you to Laura Spalding. Let's take a listen.
Most people are so curious, what happens when you die? I remember when I was a kid, I was like, God, what happens when you die? And the first time I saw a dead person, I was like, wow.
Hey guys, I hope you can hear me. I am in the decomposition where the guy melted through the floor.
I think it's just pure fascination with people in general.
This is Spalding Decon Live, doing a video from a motel where someone was murdered. We have a blood stain on the carpet that went through to the subfloor.
You know, when we post this stuff, I try to post a little bit about the story. And I find that, to be quite honest, that our Instagram followers like the story more than they do the photo.
If you can see right here, this is where he was sitting. And then you see a lot of blood and fluid here. If you look real close, you can see the separation of the laminate flooring where it locks in. So you know the fluids got below there, and we're gonna have to lift up this floor and inspect it.
And I think they're reflecting on it, and I hope they're actually maybe taking some action. So like if you live next to an elderly person, check on her. I can't tell you how many times people will hire us and they'll say, well, I thought law enforcement cleaned this up. You know, they're never going to forget what happened. And that's not the point. But after you see something like that, you can't unsee that. So if we can make it look better than it did pre-incident, I feel like we can give them a way to start over. And then, you know, once I leave, their healing can start.
Pretty interesting, isn't it? I mean, I was really just impressed with what it is that they do. You know, the whole core of her business is fairly straightforward. Law enforcement agency, a business, a private person will call them in the wake of a crime, a death or a messy accident, assuming that law enforcement has already investigated. And then her staff will haul over industrial strength cleaning materials to clear up the property, the fluids, the waste, all the stuff that we don't think about if someone unfortunately is either killed or just dies by natural causes at a scene. So it's just interesting. And I can tell you, you know, as a reporter, I've been out there where we have covered crime scenes, and usually after the police have done their work, that property owner is kind of like stuck with, okay, what do I do now? I still need to rent this property or sell this house. It's one of those things that I've kind of talked about with family and friends, how as unfortunate as that situation is in the moment, life really does go on, and it's just an uncomfortable truth that guess what? Those who are doing whatever it is that they need to do Monday through Friday are still trying to navigate what to do next. And if they are property owners, then they are trying to yeah, just get life and get things back to normal. And it can be rather challenging, but to find out that this particular group of people are now like the most popular things happening on Instagram, I just thought it was really interesting. It's interesting. This is the other thing I wanted to make sure. So that's what she does, and that's one of the things we'll be talking about today on Fox 5's Like It or Not. Kind of got lost in my thought as I prepared the next story, because you know I'm trying to keep things moving here for you, because I know that you only have 30 minutes that you are committing to me, and I appreciate that. And I'm looking at my time, 14. Looks like we've got like 14 minutes or so to go. But either way, I want you to feel free to like and subscribe below, and remember to follow me on both Instagram and Twitter at Nick Smith News on Instagram, at Nick Smith News on Twitter. If I have a colleague or someone who floats by, I will of course ask them to join over and jump in and all of that. But until then, I'm going to just bring up one more thing I want to show you and share with you that I found interesting over the weekend. This kind of blew up on social media as well. It's the whole Cardi B conundrum, because Cardi B was saying that, you know, hey, you know, role model, is she a role model, is she not? I just want to share an Instagram post with you that is clean. So I've kind of like scanned it for language and anything. Let me just say this. Anytime you and I are joining here, Monday through Friday, again, I'm going to try to come up sometime between 12 and 1 so that you can kind of know when to see me, or at least pull up the video, because as soon as we're done, it posts it live. So there are no do-overs. So the mistakes I make or the misspeaks I do are here in perpetuity. So I can't do it over. All I can do is hopefully not say anything that is too left of center or ridiculous, to continue to earn and appreciate your trust. I will make sure that, once again, my behavior and the language that I choose will work to make sure that it is always above reproach. So thank you. But I do want to show you this Instagram post, and we'll kind of go through it together. One of the, you know, somebody shouted out to Cardi, one of her fans, saying, you know, Cardi, I love you a lot, but I don't agree with the messages you've been sending to young girls. So let's go from there, and then we'll talk about Cardi's response on the other side. But I want to just show you this, and here we go. So, yeah, Kendra says to her, she's like, you know, look, I love you a lot, but I don't agree with the message you've been sending us young girls. So many of us look at you as a role model. That should send a very loud message. Well, Cardi captured that tweet and retweeted it with a response. Not really a clap back, but I felt like it was rather stern, and she cemented her position. For the past 2 years, this is Cardi speaking, I've been watching what I say, and I haven't been myself. I've been feeling trapped and sad because it's not me. But everybody tell me to be it for me, to be this role model, and guess what? People still spit my past right in my face. So for now, I'ma be my old self again. Well, all right. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Does Cardi have a point? Should she just be herself? Does she? Does her fan have a point? Does she have a responsibility to act and move as a role model? And what does that mean? Role model for whom? For young girls who aspire to be dancers, musicians. Then does she, you know, fit the mold of that? Or are we talking role model in a different sense of something else entirely? What does a role model owe to their fan or their fans or their public? That is probably a larger question, but that's something we're going to chat about tonight on Fox 5's Like It or Not. So I'm hoping that you'll stick around for that and catch us on that. It's a tough one because it's definitely something that people have talked about before. So what is the onus? Is there an onus that one has? So we like talking about those things tonight on the show. It will probably be myself, Stephanie Hamill, Bram Weinstein, and Marina should be back. So the family is back together again, and it should be a good show. I am now going to bring up something I want you to kind of see here. If I can get this to cooperate. Let's see. Everything. Everything is, the only way I can really say is that everything is really kind of like heavily credentialed. Like we have to sign into each program that we use, and that's for both security and it's just a lot of different passwords, and I think it's okay to be transparent and say not everything we use is user friendly. So it can take a while sometimes to get things going, and then in all honesty, I'm not as familiar with this piece of equipment and technology as others may be. So I remain cognizant of that as well. So, as we work through it together, I think that you are much more forgiving if you know what's going on and what it is that I'm doing than if I sit here and act like everything is perfect. But one of the things we talked about this weekend that I want to share with you, and we'll talk about it on the other side again, is we were talking about just how airlines and everybody, how they're just working to make things cheaper, and it seems like they keep cutting back on this, they cut back on that, and you get less and less as you continue to pay more, it seems, right? So what we found this weekend, this past Friday, we chatted about it. I'm not sure if you had a chance to catch it, but it was one of our most talked about segments because it was really popular on social after we finished the show, where we talked about this new Italian airline that wants to put everyone in much smaller seats. Not only are they smaller, they're kind of staggered, and you would be standing. So you're not really sitting. It's kind of a little bit of a back brace and just a little bit of a bicycle seat. And the whole idea is that they can fit more people in. It would be one of the discount carriers. But is it something that you think you'd be interested in? Well, I don't need to tell you that. My colleagues and I, we definitely chatted about that one. So I've got 7:43 left. I want to share this with you, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. But this is something that we did on Fox 5's Like It or Not, talking about the Italian carrier with the super small airline seats. And yeah, not everybody was super excited about that. But why don't you and I let's talk about that, and let's go ahead and roll the tape. All right, are you tired of not being able to stretch your long legs on flights? Well, an Italian manufacturer has come up with a seat that allows you to stretch as much as you want. The catch? The seats are upright, which means you will basically be standing the whole flight. So far, no airlines are lining up to install them. Buckle up, Stephanie, like it or not.
I like the option for some people who like to stand. But I don't know. I mean, flying is just always uncomfortable as it is, especially if you fly Spirit. Like the Spirit seats are already kind of like that.
Not
except
a sponsor, okay?
No, I don't know. I take it back. I don't know. It's not for everyone. I think if they have like a little section, I could deal with that. But I'm not going to buy a ticket.
And it's so funny. You're tiny. I wouldn't think the Spirit would.
That's what every time I'm in a plane seat, I'm very, very small. And so I'm in a plane seat. I'm just like, how are other people comfortable? If I'm really uncomfortable, this can't be good for everyone else.
I did Spirit once during a lean financial time.
Right.
And I was able to get one thigh in the seat. So by the time the person next to me got tired of my left thigh on the armrest, I think I decided no longer to do Spirit.
I think this is ingenious. If you're flying from, let's say, D.C. to New York, yeah, that's cool. What, an hour and a half flight? not a good idea if you're going to fly from here to San Francisco. I mean, just imagine standing there for, what, 4 or 5 hours? And then not only that, but when I'm standing, I'm more inclined to use the restroom. So I think a lot of folks are going to be more traffic to go back and forth to the bathroom while you're flying. It just seems somewhat uncomfortable for me for long flights.
Just imagine if you had a plane with those standing seats but treadmills underneath. I mean, that way, it'd be the Peloton of air. Can we see that picture again? Because I just want to see. I'm just trying to get my mind around how this worked, because you had the picture of the woman there, right? Who was it looked like she was sitting a little bit, but it's kind of hard to tell.
Those chairs don't even recline.
There they are.
Yeah. It looks like you almost straddle it like a bike. See,
okay.
Which makes it sound even more uncomfortable now that I'm looking at it.
You know how you work out and they say, well, get in the stool position and you got to put your back up against the wall? That's what it kind of looks like. It looks like it would really be uncomfortable after quite some time.
Trevor Noah said, when they do this, what's next? One peanut and everyone on the row has to share it, so you like lick it and pass it.
Well, but I think when you go back to the airlines, I think that speaks to when you have other airlines like JetBlue and Southwest, since we're naming names at this point.
We did a segment on the best air travel recently. I don't know if you were here that day.
No, I wasn't, but I know that that those airlines do well because they try to throw those little amenities in, and I think when you keep taking things away from passengers, when you take away the free water, that goes a long way, and that's one of the reasons you've seen such a sea change in the air travel industry. But
and an extra $100 to bring a suitcase, you know, because you might not need a suitcase when you go on vacation.
All right, thanks for joining us tonight, everybody.
Thank you.
So yeah, we kind of talked about that. We thought that was rather interesting there. What do you think? What do you think? Is that something that even remotely interests you? Because needless to say, it would be less expensive. So could you do it? You know, I'm thinking maybe younger people would not have a problem with it. I'm just thinking that probably those of us who are over 40 ain't trying to stand on a flight. No matter how quick it is. I don't care if it's LA to San Francisco. Give me a seat. I ain't trying to stand up. What's that all about? So I just think that it would depend on the audience. I could, however, see possibly students who are doing, you know, summer abroad and just want to save as much money as possible. But what an 18, 19-year-old body can do, I think is has a little bit more flexibility than what those of us who are over 40 are willing to do for a flight. So it's just something interesting, and it was one of the things we talked about on Like It or Not because it was just a good, fun moment. But again, we have moments like that. That, of course, if you don't know, and I encourage you to follow my colleagues, that was Stephanie Hamill, Guy Lambert, Jim Lokay, and me sitting there chatting, and you can find all of them also on fox5dc.com. You can find the links to their Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all their social media profiles, and Facebook. But again, I want you to remember to like and subscribe below here on the channel so that you will know when we've posted a new show. And yeah, you know, it's one of those things where I'm just trying to make sure I cover all the bases. I'll tell you what I didn't do. And let's see if I can do this. Can I still get in here and edit this? This is a good question. What am I talking about? What I'm talking about is I started this particular show and I meant to type in the date so that you know what day it is. And I believe Monday, April 8th. So that when you go back and you're like, oh, what show is that where Nick actually seemed to get through it without much technical difficulty? I want you to have it on record. So there, last thing, let's see. Got 2 minutes left. I'm queuing up my theme song so that we can be ready when that is ready to go again, because we already know what my theme song is. Yes, we do. And if you've got a suggestion, if you've got something that moves you and you want to hear when we're playing, hey, Nick, start with such and such, we can do that. We can do that. But I'm going to bring up one more show segment that I thought was actually fairly interesting. We have Jen, our producer, has been out this week because she is on a little bit of a vacation. So it's been interesting working with different producers who have just a different vision. And it works for a number of reasons. We just really have an opportunity to get new ideas and everything there. So let's look at this segment that we did, and we'll talk about it on the other side. Once again, this is Fox 5's Like It or Not, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. here on Fox 5 DC.
We're back on Fox 5's Like It or Not with some new research on men with beards. A study by the Journal of Evolutionary Biology found that when it comes to long-term relationships, women find men with beards or stubble more attractive than clean-shaven faces. And the research also showed that men with more masculine features, like a pronounced brow ridge or a more robust jawline, were more attractive for short-term relationships. Beard for the long term. Sunny, like it or not?
Okay, I love beards. I love them, but make sure that they're really nice and
Trimmed
they
up.
connect, because otherwise you just look a mess. But I don't know about the study. It doesn't matter. You know, I think it makes men look more attractive, which more than likely they makes them cheat more. I don't know. That's my theory that I have. The more attractive they are.
Well, ugly guys cheat too.
That's true. That's true. So I mean,
What are me for?
No, I wasn't looking at you. I just like happened to glance over here.
I know that
study stinks for me. I don't have a beard and I don't have those masculine features. So I'm going to live a solitary lifestyle the rest of my life. And then she's giving me the evil eye.
No, I was just saying, like, ugly guys cheat too.
Yeah.
I will say this. I felt more comfortable with my beard. But, you know, working here, I had a news director who was not crazy about beard. So he's like, you're losing the beard. Hey, I like being employed. So you lose the beard.
But,
you know,
but
so
let's be honest.
You're not dating him.
I'm not dating him, but I still get a check from him regularly.
Right.
So there you go. It's like a relationship. So
But I mean, it's such a huge feature. It makes men look completely different.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it affects the whole, you know, long-term, short-term relationship. But
well, single, Paul, I'd like to be in a relationship. May I grow the beard back? So there you go. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I think once again, you meet somebody.
Like, who comes up with these studies, by the way? They just like sit around. They're like, we really need to know this.
I think it was in Cosmo.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that says a lot.
Well, I like it. I like it.
Bram, have you ever had a beard ever? Have you tried to grow one?
I can't grow one.
What if we get like a little bit of Rogaine or something?
No, if I
Oh, wow.
No?
Yeah, it just won't look right. Anyway,
That's
my
it.
night's ruined.
As long as you know, as long as you're honest.
So you see what I'm talking about. We really do try to have fun. So that's it. That kind of wraps it up. That was Sunny, and Sunny in the City. You can find her on Instagram and Twitter. And Stephanie Hamill, you'll find Stephanie on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. And of course, my colleague Bram Weinstein, and you can find him on both Instagram and Twitter. And I'm going to go ahead and fade out with the music that we started with, because I will be back here tomorrow, Monday through Friday. Going to try to jump in here sometime between 12 and 1, just so you can see us. So, baby, come back. Baby, come back. And that's it, you guys. Come down. Remember to like and subscribe below. And that's it. That's us. All right. Talk to you guys later. And this is me out here in Fox 5 DC. We're always on. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course Snapchat. Do not be afraid to slide up in my DMs. Let me know what you're thinking. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.